Welcome to the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast. My name is Katie Dodd, and I'm a nutrition entrepreneur. I spent 7 years as a side hustler before diving into entrepreneurship full time. Before making the leap, I was bringing in 6 figures through my side hustle. If I can do it, you can too. This podcast is for dietitians, interns, and students who want to be inspired to start or perfect the side hustle of their dreams. Let's do this. Hello and welcome to the 167th episode of the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast, 14 months to time freedom. I am so excited today to have as a guest, Liz Jalkowicz. Now, Liz has been on the podcast many times before. We love talking about all of the cool ways that you can make money through self-publishing on Amazon, but I invited Liz on today to actually share her story, some of the amazing behind the scenes things that Liz has been doing. Liz is going to share all kinds of details in this episode, but essentially, she built her blog business and in a time frame much shorter than my time frame was able to leave her job. So when she joined Blogging Accelerator program, and she's going to share the story, but when she joined Blogging Accelerator program, she was working a full-time job, mom of 2 young kids, was able to build this blog side hustle, which eventually has become her full hustle. So I'm so excited to have you here today. And I guess actually before you share your story, can you tell people a little bit more about who you are?
Hi, Katie. Yes. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me on. So my name's Liz Jalkowicz, but I always tell people, don't worry about my last name because it's a mouthful. I'm a registered dietitian and I've been in the field for 17 years now. And I say that because it's like a lot of different directions to end up where I am today. And I think I wouldn't be where I am if I didn't have these different jobs that led me here. So I've worked in long-term care early on in my career, and then I shifted gears as a retail dietitian. And then lastly, I was working in more of a marketing and communications role for a nonprofit for the National Dairy Council, one of their regional groups. So within like each of the roles that I've had, I would always go back to wanting to be in the editorial space. Like, when you graduate from school or from your internship and they're like, what do you want to do? Like, what's your dream job? I always wanted to be an editor for a glossy magazine back in the day, right? Like Eating Well or Women's Health magazine. Like that was the dream. But my path never really took me down that road. So fast forward to all these years later, and I decided to pursue my own business or side hustle at the time. Because I always had this entrepreneurial spirit. Like, regardless of what job I had and maybe how good I had it, I was always craving more. I wanted to be creative, and I wanted to do things my own way on my own terms. That was just an entrepreneur in me. And so I decided to start a blog about 2 years ago. And I stumbled across your website. Good SEO tactics brought me to you. And I haven't looked back since. So I started your Blogging Accelerator program in August of 2021. And I started my brand, The Dietitian Editor. And actually, it's funny because I went into your course thinking I was going to do a food blog. And then in the first week where you really have us like dream and think about like, what is it that we're passionate about? What are our strengths? What are our weaknesses? And I kept going back to this editor. So that's how The Dietitian Editor was born. Yeah, so I guess I'll kind of pause there. That's kind of how I came into your world and just have been soaking up all things SEO, passive income, blogging, like ever since.
Yeah, I love that. And I like how you shared that background of understanding how everything that you've done has led you to this point, like all those jobs, all the experience you have. I know you volunteer a lot
Yeah.
within the field. And a couple things I
Yes.
wrote down as you were talking, you shared how your dream was always to be an editor. And I see so often this conflict dietitians have between the dreams they have and what they think is realistic and what they think is reality. And what you're doing now is it's still within the realm of dietetics, but it's a little bit outside of the box. And some people, they're like, okay, well, I went to school to become a dietitian. So what I have to do, what I want to do has to be in this box of dietetics. And what I love about your story is you're showing, what, you can take different dreams you have and combine them and like pull them together. And the other thing that I really noted was you said how you were always craving more in your job, that entrepreneur in you. And I
Mm-hmm.
think a lot of people can relate to that. A lot of dietitians are entrepreneurs. They just don't realize it yet. They go above and beyond in their job. They're awesome employees. They just have this craving for something more. And sometimes we reach that point in our job where we're like, well, there really is no more opportunity. And this is where I think a lot of us realize, oh, wait, outside of a traditional job, I can do more and make more money. So
Yeah.
what I would love for you to share next is, so that was kind of a little bit of your backstory, kind of how you came into my world. Can you share your story about how you went from publishing your first blog article to just 14 months later, leaving your full-time job and having time freedom?
Man, what a journey. It's been such a cool journey. And one that when I started when I hit publish on that first blog post, if you would have asked me like a year and a half later, 14 months later, if I would have left my full-time job, I would have looked at you like you were crazy. And actually being a part of your mastermind, Blog Boss Mastermind program, having that support system around me to say like, Liz, you could do this. This is totally possible. It was so scary to think
Yeah.
those big thoughts and dreams. And I feel like I've definitely limited myself for years because I'd always
Mm.
be like, oh, one day I'll do that, big thing one day. And so having you and the rest of the, members of the mastermind to be like, you could do this, here's why, boop, boop, boop. Like anything I had to say, we're like, nope, you could still do it. So yeah, within that 14-month period, it was just, I was again soaking up everything I could about SEO and blogging and really staying focused on at that time working my full-time job, but then getting up early, staying up late at times to really, and I have two little ones, like you said, two kids, 4 and 6 almost now. And so they take up, a lot of my energy. So it was a lot of work to get up early and stay up late some nights, but it was all worth it. I had a goal in mind, right? Um,
Mhm.
so staying focused, doing the blog, like being consistent with pumping out blogs. And then I was taking on clients too, other dietitians. So my business is B2B where I help other dietitians. And I was working with some clients with their manuscripts, helping with editing and proofreading. And there was one specific client who I worked with who was craving a little bit more from me. And it wasn't like on my, on my work with me tab of my website or services, but she wanted me once we were done with the manuscript to help her with self-publishing on Amazon. And when she asked me that, we were transparent with each other. It was her first time doing her book, my first time doing the Amazon thing. And so we went on this journey together and it was amazing. She was excellent to work with. I learned everything and anything I could. Like it was such an exciting topic for me to learn about. Like it was something that I was thinking maybe I'll add that, down the road to my services. But the way it happened, it was like working with clients, listening to their needs and providing solutions to the problems that they have, right? Like that's how you provide value, is providing solutions to their problems. So it was something I wanted to learn about. And so it kind of happened a little sooner than I thought. But when we were done and we wrapped everything up, I immediately was like, I need to share this with other dietitians. Not I want to, like, I need to share this
Mhm.
with other dietitians because I realized how accessible and attainable this dream was for people to self publish on Amazon. I think in talking to a lot of people, or well, a lot of dietitians, it's on their bucket list. Like, I want to write a book one day. I'll write a book one day, down the road, and then life happens and work
Yep.
happens. But I think the fact that I was able to take what I learned and put it in a convenient kind of like roadmap for people from A to Z. Here's how you self-publish on Amazon. It provided a solution to someone who wanted to do that. And so as soon as I wrapped up things with that client and I started working on the course, that has been a game changer for me, creating a online course that helped provide the solution.
Yeah, yeah, that's so amazing. And so,
Yeah.
what was the point that you decided that you could leave your job or you would leave your job?
September last year. About this time last
Yeah.
year, September 2022.
Yeah, yeah.
And at that point, I had done the first cohort of Click to Publish, and then I was in the middle of or the beginning of launching the second cohort for September. And it was in that second cohort that I think I realized, like, I think I'm on to something here. Like people are telling me that this is what they want. I'm hearing from people, positive feedback, and so I just and I enjoyed it. Like it's
Yeah.
still so much fun. Like when I do it, I don't even feel like I'm working, right? Like I'm helping people reach their dreams of self-publishing. It's the coolest thing to have someone hold the book in their hand, like this tangible product. So I think last year at this time is when we just I/we as a mastermind decided that I'm doing this thing.
Yes, yes. And what I love is our stories have a lot of similarities in it. I think for me, being a part of a mastermind, the Smart Success Healthcare Inner Circle, having the community who believed in me, having the tools, the resources, that's what helped to, really inspire me to go. And, Liz is in the Blogging Accelerator program and the Blog Boss Mastermind. And I believe it was when we were meeting in person last year in Oregon that I think some of those, like that light bulb switch of, oh, wait, I can do this. Let's do it. So, yeah, so
Yes.
much power to being a part of a group that's going to push you to dream bigger than maybe you ever thought possible. And I don't know if you could relate to this, but for me, it was like I felt like they believed in me enough until I caught up.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was definitely some of that in there. Yeah, and I feel like I said earlier in the episode, I think for years I limited myself because I was
Yes.
comfortable. I just wanted to be
Yes.
comfortable. I wanted to know that every 2 weeks that paycheck would come, that I had my health insurance, that, that just being comfortable, but we don't grow when we're comfortable. We just,
Mm-mm.
and that's scarier now that I'm on the other side, If I would
Yeah.
have stayed at my previous jobs, like I would have capped out. I wouldn't be able to help more people. I wouldn't have been able to make more money. I would have not been able to do many of the things I'm doing now, especially when it comes to time freedom, which I know we were going to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about.
Yeah. Well, maybe paint that picture because you mentioned you went through the season where you were working hard, full-time job, mom of two
Yeah,
kiddos, waking up early, staying up late. But this was
COVID. Yeah.
COVID. But this was a season. This was not meant to be forever. You were very focused on your goals and you
Yes.
worked hard for a season. So can you kind of explain what's the difference? Like how does time look like before you left compared to now?
It's amazing. It's like a 180. I don't have to ask permission to do things I want to do. I have flexibility in my day to work certain projects, maybe when I'm more creative, right? And like
Yeah.
get up earlier if I want to like have end my day earlier in the afternoon. I just maybe wake up earlier to get work done. I, like I said, have two little ones, so I'm able to take them to school and bring them and pick them up from school, go to their, soccer practice and activities. It's just, it's a nice feeling to know that I can be there for them now in their younger years while also doing work that I'm really passionate about and feel like I'm actually making a difference instead of just like clocking in and not clocking in, you know what I mean? Like
Yep.
going to a job, doing what I have to do and coming home. Like it feels so much more impactful. Like I'm actually making a difference, which is really powerful. But I think, also being there for my family and my kids and not having to ask for permission to do things is huge for me. Really, really huge.
Yeah, and I love what you're sharing because I think so many people listening can relate to that. They want time
Yeah.
freedom. They want to have more time with friends, with family, whatever it looks like to them. But then also the other piece of this, it's not just the time freedom, it's also kind of I often will call it clinical freedom, but it's not necessarily clinical. It's like being able to do
Mm,
what you want to do, not having to ask someone else's permission. But then also,
right.
you've built a business based entirely around what you love doing. And to me, it sounds like what you're doing doesn't feel like work and probably is something where if you want $1 million tomorrow, you might still be doing this. Am I right there?
Yeah. No, it's the connections that I've made over the past couple of years has been really cool too. So I'm a collaborator. I love to network. I love to talk to other dietitians. Like even if we're on like, different paths and like the services that I have don't necessarily, they don't need them right now or whatever. I still feel like that power of partnerships
Yeah.
and connection is so important for like many reasons, but even like just for me as a dietitian, I want to know like what are other people doing? Like and collaborate with them. So I think that's been a big perk of being an entrepreneur too. And not that you can't do that in a regular, full-time traditional job, but I think you just have so much more flexibility. And what you were saying before about um oh gosh, like if I won, $1 million or whatever tomorrow, would I still be doing this? I do think I still be doing it. And I think that the trajectory of the way my business is going, having it be more passive income versus active income, I feel like I'll still be able to help people, but
Yeah.
not have to even be in front of my computer. So that's the goal. That's the goal where I'm going towards.
Yeah, yeah. And let's talk a little bit more about kind of how you make money in your business because I think for a lot of bloggers, the gold standard that we're all looking for achieving is making that amazing passive income. So thinking of qualifying for ad revenue, Mediavine,
Yes.
and and I actually recorded a podcast episode a couple episodes ago, now money versus later money. How when you build a blog business, you can make money now, but really our big goal
Yeah.
is that later money, that passive income that can come. But what's cool about your story is that you haven't qualified for Mediavine yet. You're not at ad
Mm.
revenue, but you were still able to leave your job. So can you kind of share to people how you've been able to do this?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I hope to inspire some people today with that story too, because when
Mm-hmm.
I started this journey, I thought I had to qualify for Mediavine before I left my full-time job.
Yeah.
And that quickly shifted because even now when I think about it, I haven't qualified yet. I'm getting there. I'm close.
Yeah.
By the end of the 2023 is my goal. But I think about it and I'm like, you know what, that it's one piece of the passive income pie. I'm not putting all my, I'm not putting all my eggs in that basket just for blogging. Like that's just one piece of the pie. So blogging, even though I haven't qualified yet, I can still create this active slash passive income through my course. So
Mm-hmm.
click to publish, which again is all about self-publishing on Amazon. Digital goods. So I create workshops that are on demand for dietitians. Two that I have right now are on Chat GPT and Canva. I do freelance writing for a couple companies and brands. That's like a ghostwriting type of gig, which is nice. I do some consulting with other dietitians, helping them with SEO and some other projects. I do some speaking gigs with like local and state dietetic groups during like their, spring or fall meetings. And then I myself have several lower content books on Amazon. So I make some royalties that way. And then affiliates is a big one. So I am an Amazon associate, so I make some commissions that way. Plus, there are so many amazing dietitians out there, like you, Katie, who have these amazing courses, programs, you know, uh, services available to help you level up in your online business, whether it's building a website, building a blog, better, improving your writing skills for freelance writing. Like, and so I'm an affiliate for all those programs that I really believe in. And if I don't have the answer to someone's question, I'm like, you need to see Katie, you need to see so and so. So I think being an affiliate and doing it strategically has been helpful too for a source of income.
Yes, I love that. So
Yeah.
you're making money through multiple streams of income, a
Oh, yeah.
hybrid of passive and active, but really the way you're building your blog business, when you qualify for Mediavine, you're going to get even more time freedom and have even more flexibility with what you want to do. It's like you built the bones of this business and you just keep adding to it. So it's been so cool to watch.
And I think as I get closer to qualifying for Mediavine, the things that, once I hit that goal, some of the things I let go will be those active income, like those freelance gigs and that consulting work. Speaking, I love to do, so I probably will continue to do that when the project is right or whatever. But yeah, I think as I get closer and closer to the Mediavine goal, along with all my other passive income streams, I'll start to let go of the active income. But it definitely is a nice balance right now of the two. And I did love your podcast episode you did. If you guys didn't hear it, definitely check it out. It was like now money versus later money, and it's like a balancing act. It really is
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I'm curious, Liz, looking at your journey, and I know people are inspired listening to this, and I guess my question for you is, what has been the hardest part for you? Because I know it's so easy to, rainbow and sunshine, everything's awesome, but behind the scenes, it's not always rainbows and sunshine. It is hard, like everything. It can be hard working a full-time job. It can be hard making the leap to become an entrepreneur. But for you, what's been the hardest part about this journey?
That is a great question. I think hmm, time management.
Okay.
Time management's one
Yeah.
because I, in my head, want to do gazillion things today. And so I think prioritizing what I need to do and when I need to do it to be the most effective and make the most use of my time, because I feel like now I'm in a place in my business where there's things that I need to do and there's things that I can let go of and let other people do, and start to hire out, which is something that I just started doing a couple months ago. Which I'm really excited about, this whole idea of building a team of like-minded people who are on this mission with me of helping dietitians to publish and get their message out to the world. So I would say, to answer your question in short, managing my time has been one, but then also just my mind playing tricks on me and trying to tell me sometimes, like, those things just, they creep in and you can't help it, of like,
Yeah.
who are you, like, are you doing, Liz? What do you think you are to build this business? And, why don't you go stay comfortable in that job that you had? And so those thoughts still creep in, not as often, but they do. And I feel like I'm doing a lot better of a job pushing them out, but they still creep in. And so it's to have a support group in this mastermind with you and the others to help me kind of like pick me up on days that I feel like, who am I to be doing this,
Yeah.
has been really, really powerful. So I think that's probably the real answer to the question is my mindset.
Yes. Yeah. And I
Time
totally,
management, but mindset. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I can understand time management because when we went to school,
Yeah.
we were taught to be traditional dietitians, which means we go to work and we're told what to do, when to do, what's due. And it's
Yeah.
different when you're your own boss. And so you're learning how to navigate all these rules while being the entrepreneur who wants to do all the things. But
Yes.
then you're so
Yeah.
right, like the mindset and the tricks that our brains play on us. And it really doesn't matter what level you are. I still have
Yeah.
my struggles with mindset. My business coach, who's a multimillionaire, still has his struggles with mindset. It's not one of those things where we think when I make it big, everything's going to be easy and rainbows and sunshine. It's just a
Right.
journey. It just is what it is. Life is full of ups and downs, but it's still beautiful regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. You wouldn't be where you are, right? If
Yeah.
you didn't have those ups and downs. I think it makes you who you are today. Um, but but yeah, mindset for sure is something that I'm continuing to work on. So I'd say that that's probably the hardest thing about just entrepreneurship in general. Like there's no limit to what you can do. The only limit is the one you put on yourself. So
Yes.
getting
Absolutely.
yourself out of your own way so you can do the things you need to do to help the people that need you the most.
Yeah. But that's what's
Personal
been
and professional.
but that's what's been so cool for me, being your coach, being your friend, watching how you've been able to do that battle with yourself and to overcome it so quickly because there's a lot of people who start businesses, not a lot of people have success on the other side. So it's been so cool to watch you battle yourself, and as you've removed those limiting beliefs, how far you've come. And so for me, I'm just excited to see as you continue to remove those limiting beliefs, continue to serve your audience in the amazing, authentic way that you do, what's to come for you and your business. So it's fun for me to just sit back and watch this journey.
Well, thank you for your guidance and your insights and your coaching because like I said, I don't even I never knew how to dream this big. And I think it's cool now to be like, why not? Why can't I do XYZ? I could do it. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other and you figure it out. Because the truth is that I know you talk about this a lot too, is you just have to be a couple steps ahead of someone else to teach them, right? And so I think as long as you have value to provide someone, like one quick thing I'll mention too is I about 6 months into blogging, starting your
Mhm.
program, I started my own like volunteer slash mentorship program for
Mhm.
students and interns. And I felt really passionate about this because as I was learning, I kept thinking to myself, like, why didn't anyone teach me this years ago? Like, why did it take me this long, like, 15 years into my career to finally see this world of blogging, passive income, and all the things? And so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to help change that. So because they still, as far as I know, don't teach it in most programs for dietetic students and interns. So I have run several cohorts of that now, and I basically have a course in Thinkific where I just teach people a high level of what I learned about blogging and SEO. So that's been really cool to see like students go through that and learn the process so they can one day have their own blog and impact more people too.
Yeah, yeah. So, as we're kind of wrapping things up, I would love if you were to share any advice for people listening, maybe someone who's sitting there thinking, like, man, I would love to start a business based in blogging. I'd love to start a blog business. But the idea of, like, wow, well, gosh, in a year, I could maybe leave my job, that just sounds so crazy. It's like, doesn't even sound possible. What would you say to those people who want it so bad, but just feel like it's possible for you, but not for them?
I would say get out of your own way because you're doing a disservice to people who need your help.
Mm,
So it's bigger than you. That's what I would say. It's bigger than you. So get out of your own way. Stop limiting yourself. Allow yourself to dream big. And as long as you stay focused and do the work, it can be done. Anything can be done. The only limit is yourself. And that's a
yeah,
good book. Who's the author of Limitless? It's a
Jim
great
Quick.
book. Jim Quick. Yes. I know you recommend that book too.
Yeah.
So that would be like my first thing. I would also say which is your mantra, done is better than perfect. So in order to have impact and help serve people, you don't have to be perfect. Even as a dietitian editor, there's some typos that go out in my work at times. And, I just remind myself, this is still providing value to people. So done is better than perfect. And third, I would say surround yourself with people who will lift you up. And when you share these big ideas out into the world, they will support you and help you level up. Because if you say your dream to the wrong person, it's the quickest way to shoot it down.
Yes. Even if they love you,
Yeah.
I think of family and friends who you share, like, I'm
Yes.
going to do this. And people are like, are you
Yes.
sure? Is that a good
Yes.
idea? Yeah.
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 I love this advice, Liz, especially what you said. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than you. I think of what you've done with Click to
I
Publish.
just got the chills when you said it back to me.
Well, I think of how many people who you've helped through your brand Click to Publish. And
Yeah.
had you never created this program, thinking of all of these dreams that have been fulfilled for other dietitians. And this is one of the things that I love about online learning is that when you have something that you really want to do, find someone who's doing what you want to do, pay them to learn from them and get there faster. So everything
Yeah.
Liz shared is so true. Anything you guys want to do is possible. It's just how long do you want it to take? So
Right.
I was so grateful that Liz joined my community and to watch her get to work and do the thing so fast. And now in turn, she helps other dietitians with self-publishing on Amazon and to look at them achieve all of their big goals and dreams. So it's this really cool journey. It's so different than what we were taught in school, but once you're in this world, it's just so cool to see like the opportunities that are there in this online world and what's possible for each and every one of us. So I want to talk to you briefly because, I know we're here talking about your story and I know people are so inspired and so excited, but I also want to mention that it's bigger than you part because it kind of leads to the program that you have Click to Publish, because I do know that the doors are opening very soon
Yeah.
is it your
September.
your last big cohort of the year?
Yes, it's the last group cohort of
Yes.
2023. So it's open to enroll between September 12th and September 22nd. Doors will be open.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's the last cohort of 2023. So it's a 6-week online course, basically designed for dietitians and other healthcare professionals. But as a dietitian, I want to see my dietitian self-publishing on Amazon. It kind of shows you from A to Z how to do the thing. We go through keyword research on Amazon, how to come up with an idea of something that people are actually searching, so you have a higher chance of ranking. Very similar to blogging. Talk about like how to choose your categories, how to price, how to do your market research, all the things. Because at the end of the day, anyone could just create the account, upload a manuscript, and hit publish. But if you're doing it without a strategy behind it, it becomes more of a hobby than a business. Because let's face it, Amazon is super saturated with products are on Amazon, right?
Yeah.
So the last thing you want is to spend all this time creating this amazing product and then no one sees it. So in the course, we go over Amazon SEO and how to do all of those things so that you can increase your chance of ranking high.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I am an affiliate for Liz's program. I'm going to share at the end of this episode, once we wrap things up, I'll share you guys the bonuses that I'm adding with this cohort. I'm very, very excited for it.
Awesome.
But Liz, where can people find you if they want to connect with you online? They want to keep following your journey. They want to learn more from you. Where can they find you online?
Yeah, so clicktopublish.com. You can learn more about the course. And then my website is just the dietitian editor. I'm mostly on Instagram, so at the dietitian editor there, and LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, you can find me at Liz Jalkowitz.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing your story about how it took you just 14 months from posting that first blog article to leaving your full-time job, getting time freedom, being more present with your kids, doing what you love to do. It's been so fun having this conversation with you. So thanks for being on the podcast.
Thank you. It's fun to reflect. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Hey guys, wasn't it so fun to hear Liz's story? I've been waiting for a long time to have Liz come on the Dietitian Side Hustle podcast and share her story because it's been incredible to watch and hopefully inspirational for those of you at home listening, realizing that could be you too. The big audacious dreams and goals that you have are possible. And so I think that, when I look at Liz, she is living proof that this is possible. And oh gosh, I can go on and on, but I know I was getting excited during the interview itself. So I wanted to hop on here before I wrap up the podcast episode because we mentioned at the very end Liz's Click to Publish program. And I mentioned there was a really fun bonus I wanted to do. Now, I wanted to wait till we wrap things up because I just wanted to kind of run it by her first. I'm like, okay, let's figure out a real good partnership deal so that way we could offer the best of both worlds for people who want to join Click to Publish and self-publish on Amazon, but also for people who want to build a blog business. Because you guys heard her story. You heard how she started a blog business and how she added on top of it and started doing all these other things. Blogging and self-publishing on Amazon are two wonderful things that you can blend together in building an online business. So here is what I'm offering for you guys. You guys have been hearing me talking about my BAP Accelerator program. We actually just started tonight. It is September 13th, 2023, depending on when you're listening to this. And we had our welcome call, and it was incredible. We have 36 amazing healthcare professionals on board working on building their blog businesses, and I'm so excited for it. I am re-recording all the content from scratch, and I'm so excited about it. But all that to say, the doors to that program are now closed. But here's the special opportunity for you. The doors to Liz's Click to Publish are now open. They are open now through September 22nd, 2023. If you join through my affiliate link, not only are you getting Liz's amazing program where you will learn how to self-publish on Amazon, you are also going to get access to my BAP Accelerator program. Okay, doors are closed, but if you join through my affiliate link, you're going to get in. Now, yes, the calls are going. The calls for my program run through October 18th, but you have a couple choices. If you decide to take us up on this deal, then you can catch up. It's not that hard. We just had a welcome call. Like next week, we have our week 1 call. Or you can choose to watch the information later. You have access to the replays. It's all available on demand, so it could be something that you do later when it feels like a better time. So again, doors to my program are closed, but doors to Liz's program are open. I'm an affiliate for her program. If you join Click to Publish through my affiliate link at katiedodd.com, it's katiedodd.com/CTP for Click to Publish, but katiedodd.com is probably the easiest place to find it. Then you are going to get my course at no additional cost for you. It's going to be a bonus added in there. So anyways, I'm super excited about that special offer for those of you who it's the best fit. So thank you guys so much for listening to the podcast. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, I think that's all I have. It's late. I'm tired. I need to get this episode published. And then tomorrow I'm going to be recording more content for the Accelerator program. So have such an amazing week, you guys. Bye.